Hello friends. Today we are reviewing the year 2014 in the history of commemorative €2 coins. This year, new countries joined, such as Latvia and Andorra, and in general, more and more countries began minting 2 coins each. So in 2014, at that time, the record for minting commemorative €2 was broken again, as many as 27 coins were issued this year. In this video, we will look at all of them. In Germany, the 9th coin dedicated to the federal states of Germany, the Bundesländer series, has already been issued. This coin is dedicated to the land of Lower Saxony and depicts St. Michael's Church in Hildesheim. This is a 10th century church, which was destroyed during World War II and rebuilt after. And in 1985, UNESCO added this church to the World Heritage Sites. Under the church, the name of the land is Lower Saxony, and the letter D denotes the country of the issuer, Germany. The year of minting is on top. On the left is the sign of the mint. I remind you that there are 5 mints in Germany. On the right, the engraver's initials. The circulation of this coin is 30 million pieces. On eBay, such coins were recently sold at prices ranging from $3.60 to $9.50. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $4. In 1815, Luxembourg received the status of duchy as part of the union with the Kingdom of the Netherlands. In 1830, the Belgian Revolution began. Luxembourg sided with Belgium. The revolution ended with the recognition of Belgium's independence from the Netherlands, and Luxembourg in 1839 received the right to self-government. And the year 1839 is considered the year of independence of Luxembourg. In 2014, Luxembourg celebrated the 175th anniversary of independence, and a commemorative coin was issued for this event. The coin is divided into 3 parts. The largest is a portrait of Duke Henri Nassau. On the left are the years 1839 and 2014. Inscription Luxembourg, the mark of the director of the mint, and mint mark of Utrecht, Netherlands. Below is the inscription Independence, 175 years. Circulation of 1,400,000 coins. Recent sales on eBay have ranged from $4.20 to $5.40. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3.90. The second Luxembourg coin is dedicated to the 50th anniversary of the accession to the throne of Grand Duke Jean, the father of the current Duke Henri. The coin depicts 2 portraits with signatures, Jean and Henri. Nassau family crown above. And the year of Duke Jean's accession to the throne is 1964. In a semicircle, the inscription is the 50th anniversary of Grand Duke Jean's accession to the throne. Below is the mark of the director of the mint. Mintage year. Mint mark in Utrecht, Netherlands. Circulation of 1,400,000 coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold at prices ranging from $3.80 to $9.80. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3.80. Andorra is another dwarf country that joined the euro currency zone, but the country is not a member of the European Union itself. In 2014, the first €2 commemorative coin was issued in Andorra. It is dedicated to the 20th anniversary of Andorra's accession to the Council of Europe. The Council of Europe is an association that is open to all European countries. The main requirement is the observance of human rights and freedoms, as well as the rule of law. Russia, for example, was expelled from this organization in March 2022 due to the war it unleashed, as well as non-compliance with the requirements of the Council of Europe. The number 20 is depicted on the coin, where the 0 is stylized as the flag of the European Union. On the left, the coat of arms of Andorra, above the inscription Andorra, Council of Europe. At the bottom, the year of release is 2014. The mintage of the coin is 100,000, which is a small mintage, but among the commemorative coins of Andorra, the €2 is the largest mintage. Recent sales on eBay ranged from $21.30 to $24.30. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $24.20. Spain issued the fifth coin dedicated to UNESCO monuments in Spain. The coin depicts one of the visiting cards of Barcelona, the work of the famous architect Gaudí, Park Güell. In the foreground is a lizard, which is the emblem of Park Güell. In the background is one of the pavilions of the park. In a semicircle, inscriptions, Spain, Park Güell, Gaudí. Year of issue 2014. And the mark of the Madrid Mint. Circulation of 8 million coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold at prices from $5.20 to $8. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3. The second coin of Spain is dedicated to the change of the throne. In early 2014, after a series of scandals involving the hunting of elephants on safari in Africa, and the corruption of his daughter's husband, King Juan Carlos I decided to abdicate in favor of his son King Philip VI. Juan Carlos was the King of Spain since 1975. He came to power in Spain after the Franco regime, and immediately began to dismantle this regime, making Spain a democratic country. The coin has a classic design with a change of throne. It depicts two portraits of the predecessor and successor, King Philip VI and Juan Carlos I. The portraits look to the left. By the way, in Spain there was no change in the direction of the monarch's vision. King Philip VI, like his father Juan Carlos I, looks to the left. At the bottom is the inscription Spain 2014. And the mark of the Madrid Mint. Circulation of 12 million coins. Recent sales on eBay ranged from $3.80 to $9.80. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3.80. In 2014, it was the 100th anniversary of the beginning of the First World War. In memory of the victims of this terrible war, a coin was issued in Belgium. The central part of the coin is a poppy, which in Western society is a symbol of mourning for war victims. And the years 2014 to 18. The inscription of the century of the Great War. Above, in a semicircle, the inscription Belgium in the three official languages. Mint Director's Mark and Belgian Mint Mark. Circulation of 1,750,000 coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold at prices ranging from $4.80 to $7.70. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3.1. The second coin of Belgium is dedicated to the 150th anniversary of the Belgian Red Cross. The coin depicts a cross with the number 150 in the center and the words Red Cross. On the sides of the cross, the mark of the director of the mint, and the mark of the Belgian Mint. Belgium, and the minting year is 2014. The circulation is not large as for Belgian coins, 260,000 pieces. Such a coin was recently sold on eBay for $20. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $17.20. Also, this coin has expensive varieties by edge. The standard edge of Belgium costs up to $20, but there are also edges of Italy and the Netherlands, which cost $900 each. So if you see such a coin, look carefully at its edge. In 2014, Portugal celebrated the 40th anniversary of the April 25th Revolution, also known as the Carnation Revolution. This is the bloodless revolution of 1974, which overthrew the regime built by the Portuguese dictator Salazar and made the transition to democracy. In Portugal, April 25th is considered one of the main public holidays. On the coin, this event was depicted in the form of two curves that symbolize a carnation. The inscription April 25th in a font similar to that used mostly on posters during the revolution. Above, the coat of arms of Portugal, and the inscription Portugal. At the bottom is the inscription 40 years, the minting year is 2014. The mark of the Portuguese mint. Artist's initials. Circulation of 500,000 coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold at prices ranging from $3.80 to $5.50. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3.40. Portugal's second coin is dedicated to the International Year of Family Farming. In the central part of the coin, farm tools and farm products are depicted. The inscription in a semicircle, Family Farm. Portugal 2014. Mint mark and artist's initials. Circulation of 500,000 coins. Recent sales on eBay ranged from $2.90 to $4.40. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3.40. Slovakia issued a coin in honor of the 10th anniversary of its accession to the European Union. In the center of the letters EU is the abbreviation for the European Union. And the coat of arms of Slovakia. May 1, 2004, the date of Slovakia's accession to the EU, 2014, the year of issue of the coin. The inscriptions in a semicircle, 10 years of joining the European Union, and the name of the country Slovakia. Mark of the Kremenets mint, and initials of the designer. Circulation of 1 million coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold at prices ranging from $2.70 to $4.90. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $2.70. The second coin dedicated to the change of the throne was issued in the Netherlands. Portraits of two rulers are classically placed here. This coin is identical to the 2013 coin. Only this time the portrait of King Willem-Alexander is higher than that of Queen Beatrix, and the portraits face to the right, which is Willem-Alexander's side. In a semicircle, the inscription is King Willem-Alexander of the Netherlands. Princess Beatrix of the Netherlands. Between the inscriptions on top is a heraldic crown. At the bottom is the year of minting, the mint director's mark, and the mint mark. The mintage of this coin is much smaller than the 2013 coin, only 1 million pieces. Such a coin was recently sold on eBay for $5.80. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3. There are also expensive varieties of this coin with blue, red, and white heraldic crowns. Such coins were issued in proof-quality souvenir sets. The price of such a set starts at $140. On June 6, 1944, the Allied Army carried out one of the most important amphibious operations in history. It landed in Normandy. This amphibious operation made it possible to create a bridgehead through which troops and equipment were transferred for the future counterattack on Hitler's Germany, the liberation of Europe, and the end of the Second World War. The operation itself was called D-Day, and its sacrifice is well shown in Steven Spielberg's film Saving Private Ryan. In 2014, it was the 70th anniversary of the Normandy landings, and it was to this date that France issued its commemorative coin. On top, the letters D-Day are stylized as a landing craft, and the barrel of a tank gun. Below is the inscription 70th anniversary of the landing. Under the inscription are the footprints of the soldiers of the Allied Army on the sand, which are gradually being washed away by the waves from the sea. On the very wave Verlaine's poem, which was used as a cipher for the beginning of the landing.
Les sanglots longs des violons de l'automne blessent mon cœur d'une langueur monotone.
Which translates as, the long sobs of the violins of autumn wound my heart with a monotonous languor. From above, the years 1944 to 2014. RF, Republic of France. The sign of the Paris Mint, and the sign of the head of the engraving workshop. Circulation of 3 million coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold for prices ranging from $4 to $7.80. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3.40. The second French coin is dedicated to World AIDS Day. The central part of the coin is occupied by red ribbons, which are a symbol of the fight against AIDS. This symbol was created by the American artist Frank Moore. The idea is that the ribbon is shaped like an inverted V, victory, and once the disease is overcome, the ribbon can be turned over as a sign of victory. On the coin, the central ribbon is in the usual position, and the other two on the sides are inverted and form the outline of the letter V. On top is the inscription December 1st, which is the day of the world fight against AIDS. The ribbons have the inscription World AIDS Day. RF, Republic of France. Mintage year 2014. Mark of the Paris Mint and mark of the head of the engraving workshop. Mintage of 3 million. Recent sales on eBay have ranged from $3.60 to $4.50. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3. There is also a colored version of the coin where the central band is red. Such coins were minted with improved quality, and cost from $20. Hello, on this channel we review €2 commemorative coins and other expensive coins. The history of the coins, and the value of the coins, what they were recently sold for, and how much they are worth now. For €2 commemorative coins, in the profile header there is a link to an online table where you will find a list of all €2 commemorative coins. The table is interactive and contains links to both a video review of each coin and text reviews. This table is free and designed to make it easy to find information on each €2 commemorative coin. But, if you want to help the author, you can subscribe to my Patreon. Where starting from the $5 subscription level, you will get access to a more advanced version of the spreadsheet. Where information is immediately presented, about the circulation, recent sales on eBay and the cheapest lots now. The pricing data in this table will be updated every few months. Also, from each Patreon subscription of $10 or more, 20% of the amount will go to the volunteer funds of Ukraine. I am from Ukraine, and coins are my hobby, which helps to forget a little about the terrible war that Russia unleashed. And now any help to Ukraine will always be good. Italy issued a coin dedicated to the 450th anniversary of the birth of the famous Renaissance astronomer Galileo Galilei. The coin features a portrait of Galileo from a painting by Justus Sustermans. Next to Galileo is the telescope. It was Galileo who improved the telescope so much that it was possible to observe the cosmos. Above is the inscription Galileo Galilei. R. The Republic of Italy. R. The mark of the Roman Mint. Engraver's initials. Years 1564 to 2014. Circulation 6,500,000 coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold for prices ranging from $3 to $7.50. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3.40. The second coin of Italy is dedicated to the 200th anniversary of the Carabinieri. The Carabinieri is an Italian gendarmerie that was created in 1814 to protect law and order in Piedmont. The famous sculpture by Antoni Berti, Carabinieri Patrol in the Blizzard, is depicted on the coin. This is a patrol of riflemen, advancing against the wind and snow, and symbolizes the determination and self-sacrifice of the Carabinieri. Below is the inscription Carabinieri. R is the mark of the Roman Mint. R. The Republic of Italy. Years 1814 to 2014. Engraver's initials. Circulation 6,500,000 coins. Recent sales on eBay ranged from $3.50 to $6.90. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3.40. Moomin trolls are a great cultural heritage of Finland, which is known all over the world. The Moomin trolls were created by the Finnish writer and artist Tove Jansson. She wrote and illustrated her own books. Subsequently, Mumintrolls gained recognition and popularity not only in Finland, but also all over the world. In 2014, on the 100th anniversary of the birth of Tove Jansson, Finland issued a commemorative coin in her honor. The portrait of Tove Jansson is depicted on the coin. Under it is the signature of Tove Jansson, and the years of life are 1914 to 2001. FI, Finland. The mark of the Finnish mint, and the year of minting is 2014. Circulation of 1,500,000 coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold for prices ranging from $3.80 to $6. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3.80. The second coin of Finland is dedicated to the centenary of the birth of the interior designer Ilmari Tapiovaara. The furniture designed by Tapiovaara was primarily practical and easy to manufacture, due to the lack of significant resources in Finland during the war with the Soviet Union and in the post-war period. His most famous works are Domus, Fannet, and Islakan chairs. The coin shows the furniture fittings typical of Tapiovaara products. Text by Ilmari Tapiovaara, and years of life 1914 to 1999. Mintage year 2014. FI, Finland. Mark of the Finnish mint. Circulation of 1 million coins. Recent sales on eBay ranged from $5.40 to $5.70. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3.70. In San Marino, a coin was issued to mark the 500th anniversary of the death of the famous Renaissance architect Donato Bramante. He was one of the architects of the famous St. Peter's Cathedral in the Vatican. The coin features a portrait of Bramante. Next to the Tempietto is a small tomb built by Bramante in the courtyard of San Pietro in Montorio. The Tempietto is considered a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. Text in semicircle by Bramante Lazzari, San Marino. Years 1514 to 2014. R. Mark of the Roman mint. Engraver's initials. Circulation of 110,000 coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold for $27 to $28. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $27. The second San Marino coin is dedicated to the 90th anniversary of Giacomo Puccini's death. He is a famous Italian opera composer, whose operas are still the main repertoire of opera houses around the world. The coin features a portrait of Puccini and the inscription J. Puccini. San Marino inscription. R is the mark of the Roman mint. Circulation of 100,000 coins. Such a coin was recently sold on eBay for $29.50. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $28.50. The fourth coin from the series of Constitutional History of Malta was released in Malta. It is dedicated to the 50th anniversary of Malta's independence from Great Britain. In 1964, the new Constitution of Malta was adopted and the law on the independence of Malta was adopted. The coin features the 1989 Maltese Independence Monument, with a young woman representing Malta holding the Maltese flag above her head. On the side is the inscription Malta, Independence, 1964. At the bottom, the minting year is 2014. Circulation of 400,000 coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold at prices ranging from $5.50 to $6.20. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $4.90. There is also a variant of this coin with the staff of Asclepius, a mint mark in Utrecht, the Netherlands. Such coins were issued with an annual set of Malta coins. The price of such a set now starts at $30. Malta's second coin celebrates the 200th anniversary of the Malta Police, one of the oldest police forces in Europe. In the central part of the coin, the emblem of the Malta Police is depicted. It has the text 200 years, Malta Police. Below are the years 1814 to 2014. Circulation of 300,000 coins. Recent sales on eBay ranged from $8.80 to $17. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $9.70. In 2014, the first €2 commemorative coin of Latvia was minted. This coin was issued in honor of the capital of Latvia, Riga, which in 2014 had the status of the cultural capital of Europe. Thus, this is already the second coin dedicated to the cultural capital of Europe, after the Portuguese coin of 2012 with the city of Guimarães. The coin depicts the silhouettes of the historical part of Riga, which is also included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. The European Capital of Culture is written on top. Below is Riga, and the year 2014. LV, Latvia. Circulation of 1 million coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold for prices ranging from $2.90 to $6.1. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $2.90. Greece issued a coin dedicated to the 400th anniversary of the death of Dominikos Theotokopoulos, better known as El Greco. He is a Spanish painter, sculptor and architect of Greek origin. El Greco's works are considered a precursor to Expressionism and Cubism. On the coin, in the foreground is a portrait of El Greco himself, and behind is a typical figure from his work, which illustrates his technique. On the left is the bookplate of the artist, with which he signed his paintings. Mintage year 2014. Republic of Greece. Inscription of Dominikos Theotokopoulos. Years of life 1541 to 1614. Mark of the Greek Mint. Circulation of 750,000 coins. Such a coin was recently sold on eBay for $7. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $3.70. The second coin of Greece is dedicated to the 150th anniversary of the unification of the Ionian Islands with Greece. The Ionian Islands have been under the British Protectorate since 1815. But after Greece gained independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1832, the people of the Ionian Islands began to push for union with Greece. And in 1862, Britain ceded the Ionian Islands to Greece under the Treaty of London. At that time, Britain argued for such a decision by the fact that the islands were not of strategic importance, and their maintenance was too expensive. The coin depicts a 7-pointed star representing the 7 main Ionian islands and 7 symbols of each island. In the center of the star is an inscription in Greek, 150 years of the union of the Ionian Islands with Greece 1864 to 2014. Mark of the Greek Mint. The whole composition is framed in a circle of waves. Circulation of 750,000 coins. Recent sales on eBay have ranged from $4.50 to $8. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $4.50. Slovenia issued a coin dedicated to the 600th anniversary of the coronation of Barbara Celjska. She is the wife of the German Emperor Sigismund, and the Empress of the Holy Roman Empire. Barbara Celjska came from the Celj family, one of the most significant dynasties in Slovenia. On the coin, the portrait of Barbara Celjska with a scepter is composed of lines. 3 6-pointed stars of Count Celj. Inscription Slovenia. Barbara Celjska. And the years 1414 to 2014. Circulation of 1 million coins. On eBay, such coins were recently sold for prices ranging from $3.90 to $5.80. Currently, the cheapest lot with such a coin costs $3.70. The Berlin Wall is a vivid symbol of the Cold War. The wall was built by Communist Germany with the support of the Soviet Union in 1961 to prevent a mass exodus of Germans to West Democratic Germany. This wall essentially divided the city into two parts, and became a symbol of the division of Germans. After the Empire of Evil, that is the Soviet Union, began to suffocate economically, and was no longer able to support its satellites, among which was Communist East Germany, changes began. And on the night of November 9th to 10th, the Germans from East and West Berlin demolished checkpoints and united. In the following months, the dismantling of the Berlin Wall began. The demolition of the Berlin Wall is one of the most striking examples of the victory of democracy over totalitarianism. In 2014, the world celebrated the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. The Vatican issued its commemorative coin in honor of this. The coin depicts a ruined wall behind which the Brandenburg Gate, one of the symbols of Berlin, can be seen. By the wall is an olive branch and barbed wire. Inscriptions on the bricks, 25 years since the fall of the Berlin Wall. And the years 1989 to 2014. On top, the inscription Vatican City in a semicircle. R is the mark of the Roman mint. Engraver's initials. And the artist's initials. Circulation of 103,000 coins. Such a coin was recently sold on eBay for $40. Currently, the cheapest coin costs $35. This is the most expensive coin among the commemorative €2 coins of 2014. The total value of the 2014 €2 commemorative coin collection at the lowest selling prices on eBay is $216. Friends, if you've watched this far, be sure to give it a like. That's all. Stay tuned for future releases and don't lose your precious coin.